Good evening, FOCO foodies. I'm Julie Baltazar.
And I'm Gideon Aigner, and welcome to our final Cooks show. It's been an incredible semester, and we're excited to go out with a bang tonight.
We'll kick off tonight's show by taking a dive into the world of food trends, exploring some of the most viral recipes.
Then I'll take you to a farm that's rooted within the Fort Collins and NoCo communities. You will get to see firsthand how our food is grown.
After that, I will take you on an adventure to Pho Doi, a hidden gem in town that serves Vietnamese pho, and Gideon will show us how to make some smoking hot ribs.
We will end our show with a very special senior send-off and one of our favorite all-time segments, the International Snack Competition on Cafe Du Monde. Who will be the winner? Where will we go? You'll just have to wait and see. All this and more right now
here on
CTV Cooks.
A Fort Collins International Eatery is making waves, so much so that the owners are opening up a brand new location in Denver, Colorado. Chopstickers serves pot stickers, soup dumplings, wood ear mushrooms, and other delicious Asian-influenced foods. Their popularity and success has led them to open a new location just off of 16th Street Mall. Everything is made from scratch, and their grand opening is set for May 18th.
Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month is approaching this Monday, and a local restaurant here in Fort Collins is being highlighted by the community for this very special time. Asiana Foods, located on South LeMay Avenue, has a menu that includes all types of Asian dishes, from Japanese tonkotsu ramen to Cambodian noodles. This restaurant is not one to miss the next time you're up for trying something new.
Making food at home is a great way to save money and learn new skills. If you're a fan of food talk, then you'll be excited to hear about the top 2 recipes we recommend you try right in your kitchen. This is an alternative version of a classic crumble cookie favorite, the pink sugar cookie. You can use gluten-free flour and dairy-free butter to make this cookie fit your dietary needs. And of course, pink frosting is always a nostalgic topping you can use to finish it off.
And the next recipe we have for you is something our producer, Abby Flores, experimented with on a dash cooker called Thai coconut rice. All you need to do is spread coconut oil around a rice cooker and mix coconut milk, rice, and water all together. The result is an easy, warm side dish that uses flavors from Thailand. Jasmine rice is usually an aromatic and can complement foods such as curry. It's such a fun dish that you can share with all of your friends.
That is all the food news we have for today, but we are only getting started. Keep hanging out because after the break, Gideon will take us on a crop-tastic farm adventure. Catch a glimpse and look at how our local fruits and vegetables are grown and harvested.
Welcome back from the break, foodies.
Let's spice things up.
In the modern world, it's difficult to know exactly where your food comes from, and we sometimes take it for granted because we usually don't think about the journey our food takes from farm to table. Last Sunday, I went out to Belafonte Farm to see what early planting season looks like on the local level. Agriculture is an essential part to any community, and here in Fort Collins you can find that between City Park and Lincoln Middle School at Belafonte Farm. Belafonte Farm was started by a man who wants to bring sustainable and local food to the people of Fort Collins.
What we have is a pretty prominent agriculture society or community here in northern Colorado, but a lot of what we produce is actually exported to other areas of the nation.
Lacerte realized that he wanted to become involved with agriculture after a lot of traveling in his lifetime, especially after
going to Berlin, Germany, and I had had the idea of good local food in my mind for a bit, but it had never fully resonated. And then through a conversation I had started having with a couple people from the Pacific Crest Trail when I hiked, it just blossomed into this idea that like, hey, I want to work outside.
While on the PCT, Lacerte earned a trail name that encapsulates his journey.
Seeker. I was around a handful of people, and I was still Dennis. I had not been named yet, and I kept telling people different stories of, oh, I'm seeking a new way of life, I'm seeking a new place to live, seeking a new profession, all these different things. And I kept using that word, and one day a person was like, I like that. Seeker. You've been talking about it. You're just seeking all these things in life.
Lacerte found himself going down a path that eventually led him here to Fort Collins.
The new landowners, Danielle and Patrick, they have now leased to me to be farming on this land. So they had this availability. They wanted to offer up the opportunity to somebody who is at that stage in their life.
Although he is relatively new to agriculture, Lacerte has found a very supportive community here in northern Colorado.
I mean, I got my start on land down south through Poudre Valley Community Farm, and that's such an incredible organization because whenever I need anything, any kind of support, they are there to help me out with whatever that may look like. The tunnel was put up with their help.
Lacerte has also been actively working with community organizations to better his farming practices.
I actually have worked closely recently with the NRCS, which is the Natural Resource Conservation Service, and they have come out here and they've identified that there's a handful of pillars that they've really tried to focus on, and I am hitting apparently all of them but livestock integration. Now Danielle and Patrick have chickens and goats, allowing them to pasture on the same growing space, so that impacts what we can do in agriculture.
Lacerte also keeps a very close eye on sustainability practices and how to plan for the future.
When we pay attention to more of a circular economy, what are we doing with our in products and our out products? Because ultimately that is a loop that needs to be embraced.
And Lacerte embraces that by bringing along grocery store levels of variety when he goes to the market.
We got fresh and storage onions, we got shallots, tomatoes, the hybrid, heirloom, and cherry varieties, sweet peppers and hot peppers, a couple different types of cucumbers, summer squash, winter squash, kale, chard, collards. All in all, it ends up being about 40 different types and over 100 different varieties.
And when it comes down to it, Lacerte keeps earning his trail name.
A lot of what this farming has become is I've noticed that there's a lot of issues that exist in our world, and one of them being the quality of the food that we have access to and the way that we perform our agriculture. So I've been seeking a way to change that, seeking a way to improve that. This is my small acreage style on learning that process before I do whatever direction may come in the future for me.
Getting to see one of our local farms firsthand was a really eye-opening experience. It's really important to connect with those who harvest and produce our food. And all of the greens that you saw in that greenhouse, they're soon going to be in the ground and they'll be ready to go come farmer market season. And Julie, you mentioned something about growing a little bit yourself?
Yeah, this weekend I planted some strawberries, and it's just so fun to know where our food comes from, and it makes it just taste a whole lot better, I think.
Oh, 100%. Whenever you hear that something's farm to table, you think a real human touch to this. It wasn't all machines all the way through, and that's always good to know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you thought you were getting hungry already, you are in for a real treat. After the break, I will take you to Pho Du to try some steamy bowls of authentic Vietnamese pho.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
And we are back. Hope you had a chance to grab a quick snack because we're diving back into my final episode of Global Eats. Pho is a popular street food in Vietnam, often sold in stalls and carts and commonly eaten for breakfast by locals. In the U.S., it has emerged as a type of healing soup. Just last week, I got to visit Pho Du, a local pho restaurant located here in Fort Collins, and it was quite the experience. Piping hot, freshly made, and comforting for the stomach and soul. Pho Du has been making its impact on Fort Collins for over 15 years and providing pho, a cozy dish to help community members make it through the cold Colorado weather.
Recipe is from Vietnamese. We cook the pho a day before. We start the process start in the morning and we finish the cook in the night time. So this take the long day, the whole day cook. It's around 8 hours to cook. And then after that, we cool it down and put in the fridge, and we sell the next day. Yeah. And then the noodles, that's fresh, or that ones come fresh. And then we make this as soon as they order. When the customer come in, we prepare.
The broth is kept on standby throughout the day, boiling in a giant pot. An array of toppings and meats are also kept in a cooler and ice baths, prepared to be used for a variety of menu items.
We have three kinds. We have like the combination one, which like we sign in the menu, the P1, number one, and also the rail steak, and the P7 rail steak and well done brisket. As the three of us, that's really popular. Well, the combinations come with the brisket, rail steak, tendon, and tripe, and also come with the onion and cilantro, come on top.
Not feeling a bowl of soup? Not to worry. Pho Du also offers a wide selection of other food items, like dry noodle bowls, rice bowls, and an array of appetizers. And if you're looking for something new to drink besides soda, there's plenty of other beverages to try too.
We have the hot tea, we have like jasmine, green tea, oolong tea, and also we have hot coffee, iced coffee, Thai tea, and also we have boba as well. For the alcoholic drink, we have all beers and the wines from Vietnam.
Regardless of what kind of meal you're in the mood for, Pho Du has more than enough for customers to choose from.
So come try food, come try the pho.
Winter, summer, spring, or fall, this cozy restaurant's food is here to stay throughout every season. There were so many great items on the menu of Pho Du. The different flavors of mochi was a great way to top everything off. And now I think I smell something cooking. Hey Gideon, what are you up to?
Well, Julie, I decided that just as much as I like a warm bowl of pho, there is absolutely nothing like sinking your teeth into some meaty, juicy ribs. Luckily for y'all, I have a secret family recipe to make some of the best you have ever tried. All here on Gid's Grandparents Gourmet.
Hey everybody, it's Gideon here. Now, tonight we have a little bit of a special surprise for you, but I'm not going to spoil that until later. But what I will tell you is that I'm going to need to bring a little bit extra kick to be able to try to do my best. What I've decided to do for this is make my grandfather's rib recipe. This is one that is always popular with the whole family, and I think you're going to like it a lot. Let's begin. For this one, you're going to need 1 slab of St. Louis style ribs, some sort of rub, onion powder, garlic powder, cinnamon, saran wrap, aluminum foil, some sort of barbecue sauce, and an onion. Before we do anything else, first we're going to want to preheat the oven to 300 degrees. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to puncture the package and let some of the blood drain out. This will keep the next step from being as laborious as it could be. Make sure to rinse out your sink to prevent any contamination. Now that we have the package drained and we can take out our meat, you're going to want to pat it all down so that it is dry. Once they're dry, place the ribs onto the cutting board such that the back is facing up. Then you will liberally apply onion powder, followed by your rub, garlic powder, cinnamon, and a dash of pepper. Now what we're going to want to do is get our baking sheet ready. So for this, you're going to need cling wrap and aluminum foil. First, you'll lay down your foil such that it covers the entire tray and goes a little bit off of the edges. Then you will lay down your cling wrap so that it covers all of the foil. Now what we're going to want to do is grab our ribs and we're going to flip them so the bottom side is on our pan here. Repeat the process with the rubs and spices, but on the other side. Your hands should look like this by the end, and always make sure to wash your hands between every step to avoid contaminating your household objects. Now we're going to wrap this Make sure that it is completely covered all the way around and secure, so that way no juices get out. Now that we have this all wrapped up, we're going to pop it into the oven for 3 hours. Once those 3 hours are up, you can stick it under the broiler for a couple of minutes to crunch it up. Stick with us to see how it turned out, and bon appetit!
Now, the ribs aren't quite out of the oven yet, but you'll get to see them when Julie and I go head-to-head on the most epic competition we've had yet.
That's right. Tonight, Gideon and I are going to do one final cook-off to show love for some of our seniors graduating this spring. Find out more after the break. Go, 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 honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat. If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Welcome back, everyone. With graduation just around the corner, we wanted to take a moment to congratulate some of the seniors who've been a part of Rocky Mountain student media. These talented people have not only inspired us in journalism, but they left their marks on our hearts.
And what better way to tribute them than to prepare them 2 3-course meals in this special collaboration between Gideon and I. We competed to see who could make a meal that is one to remember. Brace yourselves because we are about to heat up the kitchen. Hey everyone, I'm Julie.
And I'm Gideon.
Today we're going to both be making 3-course meals as a senior send-off for our seniors here at CTV and Rocky Mountain Student Media.
Our guests today are going to be our entertainment director, Naomi Hilmer, our sports director, Brandon Cruz, and the collegiate photography director and former CTV Cooks host, Tri Yung.
So for my 3-course meal, I'm going to be making Filipino egg rolls, lo mein and fried rice, and a Filipino dessert called turon, which is made with bananas, brown sugar, and egg roll wrappers.
I'll be making carne asada tacos, my grandpa's ribs, along with bread pudding with a special sauce.
So we have roughly 2 hours before all of our judges get here, so let's just jump right into it. With only 2 hours for the both of us, Gideon immediately jumped into preparing his tacos. He started off with chopping his bell peppers, poblano peppers, and onions and tossed them into a bowl before cooking the meat. Meanwhile, on my side of the kitchen, I was preparing the egg roll filling. I diced up some carrots and onions before throwing them in with my ground beef and massaging it to incorporate everything. I seasoned it with salt and pepper before starting with filling my egg rolls and rolling them up. I set them off to the side until the judges came in. I wanted to fry them right before serving so that they were fresh. We checked up on Gideon, who seemed to be doing just fine. He was cutting up his meat and frying his peppers and steak all together. By the time we both got to our entrees, we'd already killed about an hour of our time. Lucky for Gideon, his entree was already pretty much done. He was serving his grandpa's ribs, which he already made by the time we arrived for filming. That left me scrambling to make my entree, shrimp fried rice. Traditionally, it's better to be made with day-old rice, but I forgot to cook my rice the day before. I was certainly starting to feel the heat. Our judges had started to arrive, and I still wasn't even close to finishing their entree and starting on their dessert. By the time I finished, it was around 6:20, 20 minutes after they were supposed to arrive. For the dessert, Gideon was able to get a head start once again. While I was working on my fried rice, he was cutting up his bread for the bread pudding and creating the main mixture for his bread to soak in. By the time I was finished with my fried rice, he was making his Grandma Evelyn's white sauce to serve with his bread pudding. On the bright side, my dessert didn't need very much preparation. Turon is a simple dessert made with bananas, mangoes, brown sugar, and wrapped up in an egg roll. It was pretty quick to prepare and fry. My main issue for this dessert was timing when I scooped the ice cream. I, unfortunately, did not think this through, since I was very flustered by the time and how long our judges were waiting. While I was in a frenzy, some of my ice cream accidentally fell on the floor, and I didn't even consider the ice cream melting by the time I served them their dessert. Luckily, our 3 judges were very gracious in waiting, and we finally got to start serving them our 3-course meals. Unfortunately, since we served everything later than we intended, some of our meals were already cold, something that Tree wasn't shy about pointing out when reviewing our courses.
A few things to point out.
For our judging system, there was no strict criteria. We just had them pick which meal they liked better for each course.
I'm gonna have to go with this one. Because I really like the crunchy outside, and since the inside is already kind of like warm, it's a lot more warmer than the other meat from the tacos.
I'm gonna go with the tacos. I didn't mind that the meat was relatively cold. I liked the assortment of greens in the taco itself, so I would go with taco.
Yeah, this one was tough. I think they were both really, really good. I think I'm gonna have to go with these though, just because I did think they were a little bit more like that appetizer, and I just really liked the filling with like the little crunchy outside. That was really good. Personally, I might have to go with the fried rice, just because I'm not a huge ribs person, but the ribs were good. I did like the barbecue sauce, and then it was like a little bit different, and I really like the toast on the side, but this I could definitely see myself like eating when I'm at home.
I would choose the fried rice as well. The ribs were good, and I like the toast, as Naomi said, but it's more of like the one. It's easier to eat just because you just use a fork. I also really just like the variety in the rice. I've always loved like stir fry in general, so I would go with the fried rice.
And so for this one, I'm gonna pick the ribs, is because I really like Gideon's practical way of spicing up the barbecue sauce, not just by itself, but putting the onions in there. That was an interesting flavor profile. And I think Gideon absolutely saved it with the toast. The other one just absorbs right into it, but I feel the flavor and the textures really mix well together. And this one, since the crunchiness of the wrap is enfolded within all the plantains, or the bananas, or the mangoes, that is just a nice touch along with the ice cream. It goes really well.
I actually kind of liked the difference in texture with Gideon's one. I liked the not crunchy, but that didn't mind me. I actually really like the cinnamon aspect of it. But Julie's did have ice cream, vanilla ice cream to be exact. Well, I loved the mango banana inside of it quite a bit, so I would go with Julie's this one.
Yeah, this was really difficult because I have had bread pudding. I've had that before, and I know I like it. I've never had this before, and it was really intriguing. It was really good. I really liked the mangoes inside of it. I'm a huge mango fan, which is probably part of the reason why it made me like it so much. But yeah, they were both really good. They were both a good dessert, and neither of them were extremely sweet. I'm not a huge sweet tooth, so that made me kind of happy. I know I've been sticking with a lot of Julie's dishes this time, but I did really enjoy this. I do think I have to go with this one, but yeah, you guys are both incredible little chefs though, and all the food was amazing.
In the end, regardless of who won, Gideon and I were just happy that Naomi, Tree, and Brandon enjoyed all of our meals.
Cooking for some of the seniors within our department was an absolute blast. And while we're on the subject of our seniors, let's not forget to give a special shout out to my co-host, Julie Baltazar. She is a graphics wizard, and she slays the game every single day. And shout out to all of our other seniors who work on our shows. Your work does not go unnoticed.
Thank you, Gideon. Before I get a little emotional here, we have one more final segment to get to. It is time to travel to India and try some snacks that are similar to the US. We will see you after the break.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back, everybody. Here on Cooks, our goal has been to celebrate all food with special attention given to international foods. Tonight's country in the spotlight is India, and we are going to see if we can tell the difference between their snacks and U.S. snacks.
As per usual, Gideon and I will have an Indian flag and an American flag for each round. We will give the snacks our best guess as to where they come from. Our very own weather boy will be our moderator. Adam?
Hey.
What's up?
Are you ready for a final challenge?
Yes, sir.
We have plates laid out on the desk of Indian snacks and American snacks. Starting off, the first snack we have is some cookies. Let's see if you can taste the difference.
All right, so first, we're gonna take a look at this bad boy right here.
Don't take too close of a look.
All right.
Oh, you're going for the twist? Okay.
It twists really well. It's got good cream. I feel good about that one. Let's take a look at this bad boy right here.
Oh, this one tastes like banana.
Doesn't twist as much, but
That's how
Just
it goes.
because I haven't had an Oreo that tastes like banana, I'm gonna say this one's American and this one's Indian.
same here.
All right, well, you both got it right. I'm gonna take a wild guess that maybe the word Oreo on the top assisted you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
On to our next one. This is a popular drink, lime soda. It's up to you to guess which country is which.
All right.
Thoughts?
Okay.
Impressions?
Okay. Okay.
I'll decide my thoughts.
I honestly still have a
after
bit of
this.
the banana from the
Oh no.
from the previous one.
This one's the Indian one,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this one's Sprite. Just because I really like Indian lime soda, and it tastes very much like the Indian lime soda I've had
Well-
before.
Yeah. I mean, this just feels like Sprite. I can't verbalize what it is, but this one's
I
different.
really like it.
Okay. Well, crazy enough, you got that one right too. But I think this last one's gonna give you more of a challenge. We have some sprinkles here of two types. So, which one's the Indian sprinkle and which one's the American
This is
sprinkle?
so
Okay.
obscure.
I'm not sure if y'all can see, but okay.
Look, we can't have all
Okay.
of them be giveaways.
Oh, wait, there we go. Okay. So these ones visually, you may not be able to see it. These are much, much longer and thinner. And so,
This one's the Indian sprinkles. This one's the American sprinkles.
yeah,
Just because these ones have a bit more flavor, I guess.
they taste like something I'd get at Venture Foods in Divide, Colorado.
They have,
going
like-
this.
Yeah, they have like a certain like spice, not spice, like a certain like I don't know how to explain it. You know,
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
It's closer to umami than sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I guess you can't really have a winner if you guys both agree on everything. So the real winner, once again, is the friends we made along the way. Congrats, guys.
Thank you. Now, as our cooking show comes to a close tonight, we can't help but feel many, many bittersweet emotions. On one hand, we're sad to say goodbye, but on the other, we've learned so much on this culinary journey. Julie?
It feels just like yesterday that I stepped into CTV eager to learn everything within broadcast and be part of a group that's like a family to me. I have many memories here and I hold them close to my heart. To my fellow people at CTV, thank you for motivating me and bringing extra joy into my life. Each and every one of you is so talented. I hope we can all look back and eat delicious food together soon. Stay safe and have a good night.